Well, today is an exciting day because we are picking up a dog that has been kenneled here for a little bit of time, and she's going to join our program. My name is Deborah Workman. I'm with the Sanctuary for Senior Dogs. I'm the founder and the director. Even before the sanctuary, I've been pulling dogs from here since 1999. And they have a private rescue Facebook group that posts the dogs that are most in need, and we keep an eye on that for the seniors. And then whenever we have space, we take one of those seniors. She's 8 years old, 34 pounds, and extremely friendly. It's just, old dogs are never a good fit for shelters. The longer an old dog is in a shelter, the more they become shelter stressed, mostly because of their age. I mean, all dogs can become shelter stressed, but no, this particular facility does as good a job as a city facility mandated to take every stray in the city can possibly do. And it's just, it's especially heartbreaking when you see a senior dog in a shelter. Because you know that most of the people coming to that shelter aren't necessarily looking for a senior dog to adopt. Which is why we bring them out of shelters, put them in foster homes, get them all fixed up, and learn about their personalities and what will work for them and what won't. And it makes them have a better chance at adoption. But if they're not adopted, they have a place for life with us regardless. We have a clause in our contract that says if you ever cannot or will not take care of your senior dog, that dog must come back to us. So we want to make sure that people are being honest with us and that they have the right home, because we don't want the dog to have to come back to us. It's hard on the dog, and we just want it to be forever. My first dog, I didn't get a dog until I was in my 30s, and she developed distemper in the first week that I had her. She was a puppy, and I took her to the vet, and the vet said, "Oh, she's not likely to live, so take her back to the shelter and get a good dog." The way he said that offended me so greatly that I took her home. We played airplane, let's make you eat for, the longest time. She survived. And I took her back to the vet, and the vet said, "Oh, it's too bad you didn't get a good dog, because this one won't live past 5 years old." I'm like, okay, we'll do 5 years. She was a shepherd mix. She weighs 60 pounds, and she was almost 17 years old when she died. So I always say that's the original old dog. But I still didn't know that that's what I was going to do. I went to Best Friends for a seminar in humane education. Decided that was not what I wanted to do, but I never wanted to do rescue, and came home and immediately started doing rescue of old dogs. But then one day I looked around and there were 6 old dogs in my home. And I said, well, this looks like a path to bankruptcy. So I went to the library, because there was no internet back then, and I checked out a book that was how to start a nonprofit in Ohio. And it had one of those things that I love so much, a checklist. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And I'm like, well, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, I mean, it was scary in the beginning. And in the beginning, you do things, and some of them work and some of them don't. And, now we have our monthly adoption event. The first year that we did that, our fosters complained because nobody came. No one came. It was new. We didn't know how to advertise it. And then, a year or so later, people started to trickle in. And now, 10 years later, it's a popular event. People come in, and I think we placed 3 dogs that Sunday. So
like I said, I fostered 100 dogs, and I have a mindset now that they're going on to better places for one, and then I have more room to take in another foster. So that's my theory. We have a approved application on him, and so we'll see. Fingers crossed. It's sweet tears if he goes into a new home, but like I said, I'll get another foster and, be happy doing it again.
Being a foster, it's a newer experience, because you get to help the dog, and you hopefully can break them of bad habits they got from being put in a kennel and stuff. you put them in an environment where they can relax and just be themselves, because some of these dogs get severely stressed out when they come into homes. They got a lot of emotional problems.
It's my first foster. I want him to go to a home where he's loved and cared for and happy, and then we'll take another one and nurture them back to health.
It was busy. And I'm surprised there's a lot of interest in some of the dogs that haven't had any interest in a while. Like Reggie, she had no interest, and now she has someone who is adopting her. So, yeah, it's been a good day. But, back when we started this, nobody adopted senior dogs. They just didn't. One day I would say we need money, and the next day I would say we needed fosters. And now it's pretty much we need foster homes. The more foster homes we have, the more dogs we can pull in. And, financially we're able to support them. That's not to say that we always will be. I mean, we have to stay on our toes and do fundraising and interact with our funders. But we need foster homes. Frank was one of the most amazing dogs that we've had in the last couple of years. He came in very ill, and he went directly from the shelter to an animal hospital. He developed pneumonia. He had all kinds of health issues. So not only did he come from a shelter to a home to an adoption event, he came from a shelter to a hospital to a home to an adoption event. And it was a lot.
Frank had sort of a traumatic backstory. He was taken off the streets and was horribly sick. And because of the sanctuary and the vet care that they were able to provide, and the care from his foster mom, I mean, he is the dog he is today. I mean, you just look at him, and to think he was out there wandering in cold, it breaks your heart. He does that when he's really, relaxed and asleep. He's a very loud breather. His favorite activity is eating.
Yeah, he's very food motivated. So Sheldon is a very slow eater. Well, Frank's now picked up that habit of, if I go over here, I can push this dachshund out of the way and get more to eat. I would not change anything we've done. I would not change the fact that we got Frank. Will we never not have dogs? No. Will we ever have 3? Probably not. It's a lot to have 3.
Now, it is a lot, but it feels complete. And just the companionship and the loyalty and that love that they give is just, there's nothing like it. But you hope Frank realizes that we're not going to give up on him. We're not going to give him up. They know and they remember, and if you help them or make them comfortable and show them love, they remember that. They know that.
One of the things that is really important to us about senior dogs is that they stay active and that they have something to engage, not just their minds, but their bodies too. And one of the things that we like to do with our senior dogs is take them to a class at Woofwise Dog Training called the Senior Social, where they just engage in enrichment activities for both mind and body. It's for dogs 7 and over, and they have so much fun.
They're seniors, but they're still active. They want to do things. They like to do things. And some of them have really surprised us. So you think, they're just happy, laying in their bed. No, they want to do things. So giving them age-appropriate activities to do.
We met in 2016 when Chris was doing a seminar on body language. It turns out she has a heart for senior dogs as well. And she donates 50% of the tuition for the senior social back to the sanctuary. When I started doing this, I thought it was going to be about petting old dogs and taking to the vet and then taking them to a new home. That's called naivete. But, all these years later, it gets discouraging. you have fosters that maybe don't do what they're supposed to, or you do an occasional adoption that comes back, or you bring in a dog like Frank that's in such bad shape that you just say, oh, this is really awful. When I get like that, I just pull up our website and I look at the pictures of all the dogs that came in and have been adopted over the last 25 years. And I say to myself, okay, if we'd never done this, I don't know what would have happened to these dogs. Some of them would have made it, some of them wouldn't have. So I guess, it's just continuing to move old dogs from a position of danger to a position of safety.